Hello, my name is Milton, and I am starting a series of videos that are going to be interviewing people in the cannabis industry. I can introduce myself. I have a meetup group in Montreal, and unfortunately, I haven't been as engaged. And this is what this is about. I'm going to be setting up a series of video presentations, as well as meetup and Zoom kind of conversations with experts and audience members. So I would like to invite you to join me in the near future, so I can hear what your interests are related to the cannabis space. I have interests that I'm going to be talking about. I mean, I'm going to be talking about how to start up a business, but more in the facility level. If you're thinking about setting up a greenhouse or thinking about getting into the extraction space, maybe even just the topic of growing cannabis itself. I have to say very clearly, I am not an expert. I'm never going to say that I am an expert. I'm going to talk to people who know a lot about the industry, and in the topics of medical cannabis, on the issues of how it affects the human body. I'm going to be expressing ideas that are researched and understood by the scientific community. But at the same time, I don't want anyone to take what I'm about to say or what anybody in my interview says as medical advice. So there's going to be a variety of topics that are going to be talked about. And I also want it to be clearly understood this is a love of cannabis. So if you're a lover of cannabis and just want to learn more about cannabis, in a perfect world, you can tell me the topics that you'd like to talk about, and I can help to explore them. Like I said, we're going to talk about the business of cannabis. I have people who operate greenhouses, who grow, who are part of the licensing process, and who know the laws. I will be talking about the business side, which mostly has to do with accounting. Again, don't consider me an expert, but from my experience and my knowledge, I can share my insights about what's happening in the industry. I will talk about medical cannabis and we'll interview people with medical cannabis. But a part of this is also asking you in the audience to send me messages and comments. So I will end this by telling you what's going to happen next. What I'm going to be doing is setting up a website as well as allowing people to register to maybe once a month or twice a month to participate in a webinar conversation with myself and somebody I'll be interviewing. The space will be limited mostly because I'm going to be using a free resource. So I might have to have a second presentation, but it'll really depend on the audience. Right now, I'm very comfortable with having a small audience. I'm also very comfortable with recording any interviews and meetings that I have. So it's going to be presented to my audience on YouTube. And finally, I will also say that I am working on my book, a book on health and cannabis I mentioned earlier. But that's going to be a part of what I want to talk about, and hopefully it'll be something that you'll find interesting. What I know about the cannabis space, in particular with medical and health and just consuming it, not a lot of people know some basic information. And I'm not a connoisseur, and when I say basic information, it's stuff I had to learn as well. But it is making me healthier, knowing certain issues related to cannabis. There are people who need to know how it helps them with diabetes, people who need to know how it helps them with irritable bowel syndrome. There are a series of other things that I'll be bringing up as topics. I am not a medical user, just to be clear. Uh, I know there's people who believe that medical is recreational, that people self-prescribe. I can believe that as well. But I know that if I don't have cannabis at any particular time, I am perfectly fine with it. So this is an opportunity for people to have a conversation and learn something about cannabis. So I hope this helps you. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Send me a message. I have to say very clearly, my first priority is reaching out to the people in my meetup group, making sure that they have information they need. And my second is to, of course, provide videos for YouTube. And if you have any questions, try to reach me. I'll try to make myself available. And this is just a short message. I'm going to have more coming. Have a great day.